So, good evening, everyone, wherever you are, in whatever time zone. Welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and tonight we have a special guest, Kathy Mason. Now, I want to go ahead and bring Kathy up. And, Kathy, I want to tell people a little bit about you. And before I turn this over, I want you to tell people about yourself as well. But Kathy is an Amazon best-selling author. She's a speaker. She's a host of the show Conscious Business Zone, which is live on social media, podcast sites, plus Amazon Fire and Roku TV. She is an online sales specialist who works with conscious companies as a conscious business alchemist. Ooh, I can't wait to hear about that. And she helps them to grow their business. She's a psychic and intuitive, and she can see your soul's mission and help you create your vision now. So, woohoo! Kathy, that sounds exciting. Let's tell everybody a little bit more about you.
Okay. Well, I have a company called Mason Works Marketing that I've been doing this work, this magical alchemic work for 22 years. And then I have a show called Conscious Business Zone that I've been doing twice a week it's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the others on Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And we've been doing that for, I guess, 3 years and 9 months.
Wow,
So
do people have to sign up or do they just
no, they
hop
can
on?
just show up. Well, I'd love it. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, so I would love it if you would sign up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But no, it's all free. Everything's free. The speakers get promoted for free. It's my gift. And it really was designed to help servant leaders, which we'll be talking about tonight in the PowerPoint. It was set up to give them resources because they're so determined to make the world a better place. They spend all of their time loving on their customers and their employees. And so we want to love on them and give them resources so that they can fortify their energy.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear your presentation. I'm going to pop off here and I'm
Okay.
going to turn it right over to you.
Okay. Well, and I want to make sure, please, I won't be answering questions during the presentation, but right after I've left enough time, I'm hoping that there will be questions. And if I don't know, I don't know. I'll try my best to answer them. So here we go. Let's start the PowerPoint and get it started. Slideshow. Come on. Okay. So tonight, I'm really honored to be here. Thank you, Sheila, to talk about soulful business and our path to a loving future. Because the reason why I do this is I really see business not as the evil empire, but as a way to turn the ship around. There's so many good things that small conscious businesses can do, and some large corporations can do to help us have a happier world and to do the new earth is coming. So might as well embrace it and figure out a better way to be in it. So what if you could connect to your soul mission? Well, I believe you can. And what if once you connected to it, the vision and the energy to fulfill your soul mission was available to you? Well, for the past more than 20 years, probably more than 30 years, I've been doing this with companies where we've been able to get everyone aligned to the energy and the mission of the group, and 10 times a business in a year. So it is possible. I've got lots of examples of it, and I'd be glad to show them and explain them to you. But it is a templated process. And I didn't learn how to do this. I just do it. So it's not something I can train someone else, that at least I don't have the confidence that I can train someone else. So you will know if something is causing you to want this kind of connection. Your soul's been tapping you on the shoulder. It's been dropping books off of bookshelves and bookstores. It's been putting YouTube channel videos out of nowhere show up. Social media people, it's almost like a thread that comes through, but sometimes you didn't get the memo. No matter what your soul does, it can't seem to get through to you. And a lot of times, just so you know, the reason that might be is that you're not in your body, soul's not very connected to your body. So part of what we're going to talk about is this process does connect you to it does reconnect you. A lot of times the soul is kind of on a silver string hanging out there, because most of the people I work with are highly sensitive, and they pop out anytime there's anything scary or strange happening. So just so you know, if you're feeling something's missing or there's something you're supposed to do, this will really, hopefully will help you get a sense of it. So what happens when I work with people is I actually am shown a movie. So if you work with me, we open up the Akashic records, and we open up the Akashic records not because all of the details are only in the records. I open up the Akashic records because it's the only guarantee I have to know I'm in to do this work. So it's not necessarily that you're looking at 10 lifetimes, or I'm not that kind of a reader. My job is to help you actually be a clear channel so you can talk to you. And I'm actually, a lot of times I feel like I'm sitting on a park bench on the right-hand side above, and you show me a movie, and there, whoever the beings are that help us, there's usually a whole team. And what they do is they bring things in a movie set where a lot of times you see the end, and you may see some of the milestones that get you, but it's from where you are right now to this future soul mission timeline. That's your best timeline to have the experience that you chose before you embodied. And I don't know exactly what that looks like for anybody. And a lot of times I don't remember everything that comes through. Thank God for Zoom and recording, because sometimes I have to go back and see what we said, because I'll remember some of the pictures, but I won't always remember all the details. And what this does is your soul wants you to fulfill this mission that you decided you wanted before, but you forgot. That's all. You just forgot, and the memos haven't gotten through. So they find somebody like me. I assume there's other people like me. I haven't found anyone else yet, but I assume there's others like me that are all over the world that can do this for people, where they can actually actualize the mission. So when your soul wants to talk to you, it is really, it is showing you the possibility of who you can be. That's why you're here, and you want to be, your soul mission may be way there. You may need other skills that you think you don't have, like public speaking or writing or singing, just like Susie just sang. You may need to learn how to do that, but it may have popped through to you, but you didn't recognize it because it's so distant from where you are right now. One of the people I did a reading for is a doctor, and he is an MD as well as a Chinese and Oriental medicine doctor. So his curricula is what they call his resume, or his not resume, but that's what they call it, is 3 pages back to back, and then the Oriental medicine. And when we did his reading, he kept crying. He was like holding his shoulder, rubbing his head, going, "What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?" And it was like, "I'm not doing anything. You're doing it to you." So I'm just a facilitator. I'm not controlling the game. I'm doing my best to bring it through, but nothing comes through that could ever harm you. And it's with ease and grace. And I'll explain that a little bit more too. But your soul wants to embody. So what happens a lot of times in this movie, usually, infrequently something different will happen, but a lot of times when your mission comes in, it'll come in with milestones. So if you're supposed to be on a stage with Deepak Chopra in 5 years, it'll show us what you do that creates the reason for you to be there. And it'll actually, if we do enough sessions, it may not come through on the first session, but when we do marketing plans with people, we usually do 8 sessions and we open up the records each time. And it's remarkable what comes through. So your mission milestones may be a book, it may be a course, it may be a presentation you're going to give, and a lot of times the names come through. So that means it's already in non-physical, waiting to land in physical, and it just hasn't made it down here yet. So that's super cool, because that way you can see it, try it on, and see if it resonates with you. But it also means that it's easy to manifest, much easier to manifest than something that's sort of not formulated yet. So once your mission is revealed, then if you choose it, there's ways to help you do it. And what that is I don't know if you can see this beautiful bubble, but this is actually the best representation I can find for what I'm given. I am given anywhere from a 6 to 10 foot bubble of energy by your soul. And this energy is yours. It is not mine. It's nothing that I can use for myself. It is gifted from the higher planes, from your higher self, to manifest your heart's desire in this dimension. And what happens is, a lot of times, I used to get a little annoyed at people when they took too long to manifest, because I was left holding the bag or the bubble. And I figured out a way to get around that so I could help more people. But what happens is, your bubble, let's say you have a reading and you go, "Oh, this lady, I can't believe anything that she says." Then this goes into storage, and there's a little tap that we can put on it and have it drip, because it's you wanting to embed in you and self-actualize. So I don't have to worry. Thank goodness I created the storage way, excuse me, so I don't have to be in the middle. And some people do take 2 years after they have their reading to actually do it. And it's in divine timing. It's not up to me. I'm just happy to help if I can, to be in service. But we alchemize your manifestation. Now, what that means, for instance, if you're writing a book, we can alchemize the cover to magnetically attract the people that you best serve. If we alchemize a movie or a video series or a audio series, lots of people say, "Oh, that's something I did, 5 years ago. That doesn't have the same energy." Well, when we use this energy that's in the bubble, it can evolve along with you. So an audio program of meditations or affirmations that you've done 10 years ago can bring in the frequency that you've developed now. And as everyone that's sensitive knows, our energy is really escalating now. So I think that's really cool. And I've seen it over and over again that it's amazing. It also helps when you're alchemizing your manifestation, it comes in much faster. So one of the marketing plans I did was for this incredible energy worker who works with empaths. And when we did her plan, it said that she was going to do 99 of these audios. And she went, 99 audios, that's just way too many. And so what happened was we just let the energy do it. And lo and behold, within months, she did 99 audios. So once you say yes, the work starts coming through. You help you bring your gift in. So it's so cool. So when we make a plan, what we do together, I have a templated process that I've been using for about 30 years that actually causes us to bring and energize your decisions in. So instead of you swimming in everything you're doing, you're actually like on a chessboard picking. So it really is a much more conscious way to run your business. And it becomes a business, it becomes an adventure, it becomes a delight, it becomes you're with your soul tribe. It's not the same as a job because you've created it from a higher place. And it's quite amazing how fast it works. So with that, I wanted to share, I've had trouble over the years explaining what I do. So I wanted to share a couple of videos from people that I've helped so that you could hear their explanation. So that, because again, this is the first time I've made a PowerPoint about what I do because it's so different and I don't really, it's so much in the heart and so feelings, it's not always words. So anyway, I'm going to play this. And hopefully, I'm not sure where you guys, I'm going to push you over here. Okay, so here we go.
Aloha from Maui, Hawaii. My name is Bree Wolf, and it is with great pleasure that I am recommending Kathy Mason as a intuitive marketing guru. She has a unique way of consulting the Akashic records, and she has her higher self talk with your higher self so that you can get in touch with the larger, grander vision of your own life. Sometimes we play small. I know I did. Kathy was able to consult the Akashic records, and what she said blew me away. And I was a little skeptical at first, kind of thinking, well, I don't know if this has a place in the business world. But it blew me away because she would see something and explain what she saw. And then within a week later, I could start to see how this was possible. Not only possible, but it was timely. And I was being called to step into a higher version of myself. So she helped me drop limiting ideas so that I could step into a bigger picture. And then we took the practical, tangible steps that it took to turn around my offerings. My classes have been packed and I've had to turn people away. And I'm just...
I am Sherry Doyen, and I'm excited to share my experience with Kathy Mason and her Akashic readings. She was dead on. I have had numerous readings in my life and have often been like, some of it, right? No, like she not only declared things that I knew from my own experience, but she also brought forward things that I had suspected, And she had also brought clarity to things that I had been wondering, right? So if you haven't yet, please trust her. She is one of the most trustworthy people that I think I know. So please hop in there and have your reading and let your business like catapult, because it has changed the course of my business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pamela Girali, and I am so excited to be working with Kathy Mason. She is an amazing lady with a lot of experience and a lot of contacts, and is helping me to share my life work, the blueprint for the human spirit, with the world. I'm delighted to work with her and know that finally I can truly make a difference and uplift humanity in my own unique way.
I have so appreciated all you've done for me. I feel like my life is rolling into a beautiful, beautiful place. And I'm just filled with gratitude for you. I couldn't have done it without you, and I feel like it's so on its way. So, aloha from Maui.
Okay, so you can see these people, once they're on their divine mission, their business filled with love. It's not about work, it's about love. And when people are servant leaders and people are working from that level, it's a whole different game. And that's what I hope we're going into, the new future, going from the old ways of competition to collaboration and the age of Aquarius. And I'm doing what I can, and I encourage all of us to do our part to share our gifts that way. But having a business filled with love could turn a lot of this ship around. So what we're going to talk about next is conscious business and how love can energize everything and energizes the results. And when your soul is embodied in your physical vessel, you're definitely have the chance to practice love. But in the business world, love is actually seen as a skill now. And this isn't a dirty word. There used to be, when years ago, there was so much worry about sexual harassment and all of that love got to be a dirty word. But now it's actually commonplace, and it's used mostly because the future of business is team. And that, I think, is the future of associations, of everything, of what the Galactic Alliance is doing. It's all about teamwork. So that's what we're going to be talking about here. So now I wanted to share a couple books and people. So on the right-hand side, Ownership Thinking, Brad Hams. Brad used to be in one of my mastermind with me in Denver, Colorado. And Brad had been a top manager at a food company, a food manufacturing company in the US. And he was asked to go run a factory, a food manufacturing factory in Mexico. He's fluent in Spanish. In fact, he ended up finding his wife there. And anyway, but he started this new concept called ownership thinking. And what happened was that in a manufacturing environment, I don't know if any of you have been in one, there's normally a strict hierarchy where the engineers don't mess with the other people, and the owners, it's like the front offices don't talk to the manufacturing plant. Well, in his case, he made it all a team and gave everyone this concept of ownership thinking. And he broke all records for the whole company worldwide. So that was one way that it worked. Then this gentleman, Brady Wilson, he wrote a book called Love at Work. why passion drives performance in the feelings economy, and do the right thing, get great results. And he talks about a servant leader. And inside this book is a servant leadership test, which if you wanted to know more about being a servant leader, what this means is your leadership is you are only as good as the growth of the people that you're with, because the more that they grow, the more they love their job, the more they love being on the team, and it's a game instead of work. So the servant leadership test, these are the questions on it. Do those serve grow as persons? Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, freer, and more autonomous? Are they likely to want to become servant leaders because of the way you've treated them? What is the effect on the least privileged of society? Will they benefit or at least not be further deprived? So when you see this, this is in basic business books now. The term servant leadership was made very popular by the guy, Ken Blanchard, the author who wrote The 1 Minute Manager. He also wrote books on servant leadership. And I do recommend that you find out more about it, because it's quite remarkable what this whole idea is, because it's not about a pyramid structure anymore. It's about a circle. It's about a team. So here are two more books that I wanted to bring to your attention. Love is a Business Strategy. So this is current. This Love is a Business Strategy was published in 2021. And then I don't know if any of you have read this book. I have. Love is a Killer App, How to Win Business and Influence Friends. It's actually, this gentleman did some TEDx talks on it, so you can watch those as well. It's awesome. And when business is talking about it, you can see this is something that's in our mainstream. It's like conscious, that word conscious wasn't in our mainstream. Either was yoga 30 years ago, but yoga is now mainstream. So we're evolving, and there's a lot. I'm very optimistic and hopeful about it. So I want to share two more books and then another video in a second. The one on the left, Steve Farber, his brother was one of my clients, and he's passed. He was a real estate lawyer during the day in Chicago, and an incredible healer at night. And he would come here to Colorado, and we would promote him, and I just loved his work. Well, Steve is very special as well. Steve was a vice president of one of the biggest business consulting firms in the US for, I think, 15, 20 years. And now he has his own firm, and he actually plays guitar. If you go find him on Facebook, you'll see he's just this great guy. You just want to pinch his cheeks or give him a big hug. He's really a great guy. But look at the name of his book, Love is Just Damn Good Business. Inside this book is all the statistics about how when you love on your people and you love your customers and you express it, it makes a huge difference in your bottom line. Well, if people are only interested in the bottom line, okay, we can still hook them into love that way. And it says, do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. So that's how you build team. Then on the right-hand side is one of my friends and past clients, Olivia Parr-Rudd. And she is world famous for her expertise in databases. She wrote a book with Wiley, which is one of the biggest book publishers in the world. So she is well known for that. And look at the name of her book, Love at Work, The Essential Guide to a Life of Inspired Purpose. Well, that's what we're talking about. If you were in your inspired purpose, what a difference that would make. So let me share real quick. Hopefully this will load. It needs to load a second. There we go. So here's Olivia.
I've been working with Kathy for a few years now, and I'm just amazed at her abilities. When I first met Kathy, I knew she was a marketing genius. So I decided to sign up for a program, and I was actually blown away by her ability to read my soul blueprint in the Akashic record. It was very inspiring because she could see things that I was meant to do that I perhaps had inklings of or had no idea. It gave me such resolve and courage to step into doing things that I might have shied away from out of fear. So I felt inspired, confident, and a lot more clear about my direction after getting some guidance from Kathy. And I recommend anyone who feel like they have a soul purpose or you really want to know why you're here to just work with Kathy. She can help you see it and give you the steps to take you into your highest purpose. Thanks.
Thanks.
I
Thanks, Olivia. Okay, see if I can get it to go next
been
slide.
working with Kathy for
Excuse me. Trying to get it to go to the next slide here. Oh, good. Okay. So how do we create the world we want? Through conscious business. And your conscious business, if it's your soul mission business, it isn't hard to do. You're inspired, you're energized. Whenever you're off track is when you know something's, if it's fighting you, you're off track, and then you can just take deep breaths, get back centered, and get back aligned. So, but I really feel that these conscious businesses is the path to wellness and happiness. So the next thing I guess I want to do is define what a conscious business is. Well, we've talked about servant leadership. And again, that is something that may be a skill you have to learn if it doesn't come natural. If you're a lone eagle right now and you're used to working all by yourself, there may be things that you need to learn, communication or connection things so that you can magnetize the right people around you to build this team or this tribe of people, depending on if you're doing a nonprofit project or for profit. But what they do is they know their values. Any conscious business knows its values, and they use servant leadership, and they constantly pick actions that will have a beneficial effect 7 generations from now. And I think many of you may have heard that from the indigenous, that's part of their decision-making process. And when we think about it, that's really where we need to get back to. It's not this throwaway economy and throw away everything. It's back to what's good for everyone for the long standing. So, and this is why, look at this beautiful couple with their child. They in nature, that we want to leave this type of a life for everyone. We want to be able to have changes for a peaceful, loving future. We're going from this age to the age of Aquarius. In the age of Aquarius, it's all peaceful. We're still in this war, divine masculine, divine feminine kind of thing. We got to get in the middle ground where 0 point is, where love lives. And that's how we create a future that's good for 7 generations. Now, one of the ways that we do this is we look at everyone that's on our team, and we create teams, but we look at everyone on our team as gifts. And as we said before, this servant leader is looking at every single one of these people on their team and trying to figure out how they help them grow. And it's to the benefit of everyone. So the leader is constantly learning and benefiting, because we're all here. We all stood in line to get these bodies to be here right now during the biggest change game in the universe. That's why there's so many UFOs and so many beings around us and so many walk-ins, is that everyone is here to see how the game goes. I mean, I hope they're not just eating popcorn up on the ships, but you don't know. But team is the game. Team is the future. So how can you, if you wanted to get a certification in being a conscious business, I would love to have a program. I do not have a program. I just do this other work that helps people bring their own business into their soul business, their soul mission business in. But there are companies, local companies in Colorado that I know of that do certification programs. Sounds True has a program called Inner MBA, and Humanities Team has a program called Conscious Leadership, The Art of Leading from the Heart with Steve Farrell. I'm very familiar with Humanities Team, excuse me, because I did their business plan over 10 years ago, and they're still using it. And I use the same process with these magical people to create the plan as what I showed you before. There was a big thing of energy. There was a soul mission plan that was revealed. And 16 different items came through for Humanities Team. And 10 years later, they're still doing it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So here are some other conscious companies that you might know of or that you've heard of. And I know some of them are large corporations, so you might not feel loving towards them, but please give them a chance because they are doing the work. Patagonia, where just recently they I think they put some legacy of their whole company projects into place. I don't remember exactly what that was. Somebody on here might know what happened, but they just recently in the past month did that. Ben & Jerry's did cause marketing with their ice cream. They donate a percentage of everything that is made. They were bought out, but they still started the whole company as a conscious company in Vermont. Then Allbirds Shoes, Ten Tree, Eileen Fisher, Uncommon Goods, Procter & Gamble, which is a large corporation. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is their hometown, and they funded the symphony, the art museum, lots of things. So not all corporations are part of the evil empire. These guys are conscious, and even if it's only a division of it that's conscious, I just want to put my kudos out to them. And Empowered is another one as a conscious company. So I wanted to share a little bit about this company called Cafe Gratitude, and I hope you can see it towards the bottom of your screen. There was a book written called Conscious Commerce that my friend Kimba Aram, who is one of the owners of Gaia TV, told me to read years ago. And then I got to go to two of the Cafe Gratitudes, one in San Diego and one in LA. This company pays their manager to come in early, and the manager has a sit-down conversation with every single employee before the start of the workday. What they do is they actually make sure that any conflict or strife that the employee has had from the dog, the husband, the wife, the car, any stress that they've had doesn't come into their work day. So the manager actually lets them discuss it, helps them process that, so they're clean and clear. And when you go into this restaurant, you feel it. You feel the love. It's palpable. That's why they've been so successful. And besides the name is Cafe Gratitude, how couldn't you love that? But the idea is that the food tastes better, the lighting feels different, everything feels different about it. And these people, they've written books about how it's done. So this is one of their cookbooks. I couldn't find the book cover to put in with this, so I hope you will go look them up, Cafe Gratitude. And I hope they're doing really well during all of this strife after the lockdown. So what I wanted to give to you is part of the way to go to being a conscious company and a servant leader, and to be on your soul mission, is to start your day and your life. You can start your day and end your day with gratitude. And we created this 30-day gratitude journal that you can get as a free gift if you go to our website, masonworksmarketing.com, and download it. And what happens with this journal is, it's interesting. I did a test. I made 8 giveaways. This was one of them. And I sent it to my list. I have a list of 5,000 people that I regularly email. And this was the winner. This was the one that everybody wanted. So I think I just thought it would be the appropriate gift for you, rather than how to build an email list or how to do video marketing. This was the place everyone wanted to be. So it's a 30-day gratitude journal. You just download it as a PDF and print it out, and it's yours as a gift. And then if you want to connect with us some more, please, I'd love to have you participate. If you want, with Conscious Business Zone, that's our YouTube channel. Kathy Mason Love, my personal Facebook profile is Kathy Mason Love on Facebook. We're on Facebook, and I lots of pages. I do have an author page. And then the website. And this is Marketing for Conscious Evolution. And we're hoping that you'll see a path that could help you or your loved ones to help this, this change that we're going through come through with ease and grace. So that's it. That's it, Sheila.
Beautiful. Wow. So Kathy, I have
Yes.
to ask you.
Okay.
What about if people do not have a business, but they want to work with you and get these readings that you've just shared with us?
Well, I just started doing readings for people that don't have a business, but I'm afraid my strength is showing them what their mission is. Their mission usually is some sort of gift that they came in with. So I did a reading for this beautiful man. I mean, the people that come to me, I just am honored actually with what they picked before they embodied, and which of course looked easier to do than once you come down here. But anyway, I did one on this past Sunday, and it was clarity for him. It was almost as though he knew his strengths, but he couldn't see how they fit. A lot of this is your soul is bringing you all these, like, it's like puzzle pieces. And a reading sometimes will bring them all together so you can actually enjoy it rather than feel almost fragmented. It also, as I said before, unknowingly, I didn't realize how much of this is almost a healing process when your soul comes in. Because when you're not connected, as a walk-in, when you came in and embodied it fully, how different you felt, even if it was heavy. Because I think once you get in here, it feels different than out there. But the strength, we stood in lines to get these bodies to be here right now during this change. And so a lot of this is about being here embodied and being powerful as that. Plus, once you're embodied, you have a constant battery pack. I mean, instead of feeling depleted and sick and confused or disoriented, you have a straight line to God, to source, because that you are soul, your soul is source. So it's a whole different, I mean, you don't need as much sleep. You're more excited when you wake up in the morning. It's a whole different way of being. So I hope that answered your question about not having a business. The reason I talk about business is that is in 20, 30 years, that is the bulk of what I've done. Is that people have found me from all over the world to help them build their business.
Yeah. So how did you get started with this?
Well, the first time I remember knowing that I had these skills was when I was 8 years old. And I remember going out in the backyard. We had 9 acres. I'm number 4 out of 5 kids. My mom had 5 kids in 7 years. So we were all on top of each other. I remember going out in the backyard going, "You left me at the wrong house. Come and get me." I have no idea what caused me to say that, but I did. And they didn't come and get me. Instead, they just sent me more support. So I have a team that part of them are Arcturian. And I have Saint Germain's on my left usually, and a 12th dimensional angel is on my right. A lot of times the 12th dimensional angel will actually embody in this vessel in order for me to be able to bring in, because sometimes I'm reading people that were going way above 12th dimension. So I guess I need the added bridge in order to reach that for them. But I think they do a very good job of bringing it in, because if I see something that's like, I can't figure out what that is, then they'll bring me something I know so I can express it. And a lot of times people's logos come through. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, I just gave you a couple of testimonials, but it's wild what happens. People will call me later, 8 months later, and go, "You won't believe this. Everything you said just happened." And it was like, what did I say? A lot of times I don't even know. I don't know, because it's not me. It's you talking to you. But I do record everything.
That's great.
So I'm very grateful for Zoom.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Stone's here. Hi, Stone.
Yeah.
So does anybody have other questions? I'd love to see if I can answer them.
Okay, let's go ahead and open up. If you've got a question, go ahead and raise your hand.
Oh, good.
All right,
Okay.
Catherine. Hey, Catherine. How are you? Go ahead and unmute.
Okay. Hi, Sheila. Good to see you.
Hi, you too.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
I'm happy to hear about you and what you're doing in the world. It sounds amazing.
Thank you.
I'm curious, how long are your sessions usually?
Usually they're 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay.
And you get a recording, and sometimes you get a little more clarification also. Like if they show you painting, and all I do is explain the paintings, but I don't tell you what size they are or what kind of frame they're in or anything. If that still comes through, then there'll still be some communication afterwards.
Okay. And can I just ask another question about the process? So is it like a hypnosis type of process that you go into, or a trance state that you go into? And is it where the person that, or the client that is speaking with you, are they asking you, who is actually their higher self, questions, or you're just totally
Well, usually after the initial movie comes through, the last hour, I might ask them if they have questions, if that's all if I'm complete. But a lot of times they're still sharing. So I'm saying it's you. I don't know what to call it.
No, I know what you mean.
So my eyes are closed. It's all comes through my third eye. It's nothing. Sometimes like when Sherry Doyen, she was one of the people in that one video. She went with me. She went in. She's the only person who's ever done that. She went in my third eye and went with me, and she saw what I saw.
Mhm.
So it just depends on somebody's skill, what they do. That is the only person that's ever done that. But usually what it is as Bree said, at first you're maybe frightened of it or don't necessarily see it, but every time, it may take a little while, but every time it seems to show up. One time I was at this incredible energy healer's office, and her CPA had told her to have a reading with me. And that was 20 years ago, and I wasn't very good at controlling it coming through. And I'm in her office, and I told her she would be on stage dancing and doing all this stuff. And she got furious at me. And she told me, "What kind of marketer are you? Get out of my office." And she wasn't very nice. And I was flipped out because it was like, what just happened? Because it's almost like it comes over me, and I've got more control now, but I didn't then. And anyway, maybe 4 or 5 months later, she called me up and apologized and said everything had happened. So it's not, it's always good news. I haven't ever seen anything where someone dies or has physical impairments. It's really about your highest purpose here and how to bring it into form. And I think that's why they picked a marketing person who could do it, because I can help make it real.
Wow, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You so much. Really,
Sure.
really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. Okay, Venus, you have a question for Kathy?
Can't hear you.
Need to, can you unmute?
There you go.
Yeah,
There you are.
I don't know what I did. I did something wrong.
Well, we can hear you now.
Okay, my question was, Sheila asked you if you could do any of these readings with someone that might not have a business. Uh, what about? I mean, I don't. You haven't said any prices or anything, so I'm wondering. I mean, I live on Social Security. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I have some money. So I'm wondering, is it affordable to someone like me?
Well, we can talk about it. I mean, basically, I just started doing one-on-ones that aren't part of a business plan. So, and I just got the memo to do that. And when you get the memo, you just have to try. So obviously, am in New Frontiers. I don't think it's that expensive for 2 hours or an hour and a half. But I don't really want to throw out numbers here. So
Yeah, I hear.
why don't you contact me and we'll see what we can do
Okay, is this in person or on Zoom?
on Zoom.
Okay.
On Zoom. I prefer on Zoom. I used to video before COVID, I had a beautiful office that had great energy in it, and people would come there and we'd actually get out the video camera and video it. And because I used to have a whiteboard and I would start writing all this stuff on a whiteboard, and I would miss a lot of the stuff that wasn't on the whiteboard. So we started videoing it. So I'm grateful for Zoom because we can go back, we can get a transcription of it if we want. So much comes through that you don't hear the first time. So much, because it's part of a movie. So if you're wearing a red coat and then, I don't remember the red coat probably later.
All right.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, I remember you were there. You were here on Sheila's program about 3 months ago or so, or 4 months.
it was a
I
long time.
remember.
Yeah,
I remember you.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, with Joan. I was with Joan of Angels, and she had a reading, and you should ask her about it. I don't have a testimonial from her,
Okay.
but wow.
Yeah, I know Joan. Joan's pretty cool too.
Yeah, she's amazing. But that's what I'm saying is I test if I'm supposed to do stuff. That's the only thing I know, because from this perspective, I don't always know what's the divine path. So, and I'm here to help as many people wake up to their divinity as possible. That is my
Okay.
mission.
I just I've been looking for someone for a while. I was going. So many people are it's so difficult for some people to get readings. I was going to go through this one lady, and then a famous one that Shirley MacLaine went through, and um, it's. I'm just wondering if you're the person. I don't know.
I
I need
don't know.
someone. I need someone to do just what you're saying to help
You
me
know what?
look into my higher
Could
self
you
better.
could you put your email
Okay, sure.
in the chat, and then Venus, if you'll go ahead and reach out to her that way, that'll be awesome. So thanks for bringing that up, because I'm sure some other people are going to want to reach out too. So
Okay,
thanks
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Okay,
And Susie, it looks like
Susie.
Susie's got a question.
Uh-huh.
Kathy,
Come
this is
on
just
down, Susie.
so amazing. I was in a group for 17 years in my youth, and we had businesses where we were in love with each other before the business, and it was just amazing meditating together, praying together. And then it was interesting because the leader that had the vision, when he died, people got in and they wanted the profit. And it just without the vision, it perished. And it just and I also did big. I was in international law firms. I was supervising. I had great jobs, but I was conscious first. People, it was a rare. People thought I was a weird person because I really did. But I was so disillusioned eventually because there was just no, you got a few people that responded, but there's so much corruption, especially in the law. So yeah, I'm just fascinating. I'm so grateful you're doing this. I mean, it just is like the vision restored. I love it. I just
Oh,
love
thank
it.
you. Well, I ran a division of Arthur Anderson over 20 years, 25 years ago. I had 80 employees, and I'm highly sensitive. And that was, it's no longer in existence, but that was a real trip, being highly sensitive and wanting to work from a loving place in a highly competitive environment.
Yeah.
And so I understand what you're saying, but times are changing. That energy will not be supported anymore. It just doesn't work. You can see it's crumbling right now. The truth is being revealed. And what we're talking about is our own truth. We are divine beings, and we may have picked just amazing things to do. They looked really easy up there. that when we got here is like, oh, I'm not sure how to do it. So, but I understand what you're saying. I really hope that people share this message and believe it and embrace it and use it in their own lives. I really pray that's the future.
Yeah, there's so much hope in your message because I mean, in your experience. Yeah, because I know so many people that had the vision in those companies, they just got so crushed. And so this is just making me like, wow. I mean, so
Yeah,
I'll pass the word.
yeah.
Thank
Well,
you so much.
there's seriously, I'm doing a show called Conscious Business Zone, and thousands of people are following it. So people want a conscious choice. They want to be conscious. They may not have the tools or the resources. And just like what Venus was saying, I mean, there's just like what Sheila has for this, this venue, you can listen to these presentations over and over again and get something different each time. You're being activated. You're being activated to the love that you are. That's what we are.
I got God bumps all over when you said that. I love it.
Is it? Well, that's because it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. This was
Oh, sure.
absolutely
My pleasure.
brilliant.
Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it. All right. Do we have any other questions tonight? Any comments? Okay. Well, if not Kathy.
Sean. Hi, Sean.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sean. Glad you made it. Nice.
So no questions?
Always good to
Stone
see
Hobbit or Sean? It's got to be crazy time in the day. It's Stone Hobbit is in Australia.
How did you discover your purpose?
Me?
Yeah.
Download. Download.
When you had your awakening.
Well, I am still having an awakening. What I did was 20 years ago, I did a process out of Avatar. It's a program by Harry Palmer, and I had a spiritually transformative experience, but it just amplified what I already had. And during that experience, I connected with the love that God is. And then I saw myself as a tributary off of God in it, like a spotlight. I was like an ant in this huge spotlight. And so I've spent every single day waking up wanting to hold more of that light and clearing. So you know, Sean, you're that. You know that.
Yes, I just love to hear your stories.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, the people that have had near-death experiences or walk-ins or highly sensitive people, they touch this field all the time.
Yes.
Yep. But I get to play with it, and I get to help other people play with it.
Thank you, Sean. Great to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Sean.
Appreciate
I'm
you
glad you're
coming.
doing well. We have to talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
Stone Hobbit, I saw that you unmuted for a second. Are you gonna
Yeah, I was just going to say it's always a pleasure. I did have lots of questions, but as you go through your flow, you just answer them anyway. So you know, it's all good. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you for doing the energy work that you're doing, because it has ripple effects. So
same with you. Thank you.
And I'm just for reference in New Zealand, not Australia.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I tried to not mess it up. I messed it up. Sorry. But I love you, Stone. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Catherine, you've got your hand up. You have one more question?
Yes, I did. Well, I thought if nobody else was going to ask a question, I was curious about something, if you don't mind. You were saying that you see the Akashic records in like a movie, almost like a movie playing in your head. When that's happening, and I don't know if you explained it earlier, but I'm just, I'm trying to get a visual for what, are you seeing the pre-life plan of the person? Are you looking at past life experiences of the person? Is it, okay,
Okay, so what I do, I use the Akashic records to guarantee that I'm in the higher frequency. I'm not necessarily going into the records and looking at your past lives at all. My job is to reconnect you into your soul and what your soul's heart desire was to manifest this lifetime. And so sometimes I'm shown multiple timelines, but then one comes through clearest. And then that's the way I know there's more energy on it. And they won't, I've never had them not give, whatever it is, I call it they, I don't know what to call it. I've never had them not give us energy to manifest it if you choose. So basically what it is you're in the path and you're here and you're supposed to, your heart's desire was to be here. And what they're doing is giving us the map to get to here and the energy, because the person that is at the future, whichever one is one, at the future self person isn't the same person that you are at the beginning of the reading.
I see. Okay.
It is a reconnection to who you really are.
It's like you're bridging the two together, or you're helping to bridge the person to their higher self.
You are reconnected, and then you start holding more of your own light.
Mhm.
And then you start bringing in all of the information and all the people. It's magnetic. All the people, places, things, books, movies you're supposed to watch, Facebook conversations, all of a sudden, who's that? How am I supposed to know about that? All of a sudden, all of it shows up. Free classes show up out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you're on this path. And then this is a way to bring it into physical. It's already up there in that timeline.
Right.
It just isn't into physical yet, but I'm not really just reading the records. I've taken a class to know how to do that, but
Mhm.
that's really not my skill, my gift. My gift is this other work, which I have. Seriously, this is the first time I've ever made a PowerPoint to even try to explain it, because I couldn't believe I even told people what I did. I mean, people knew that worked with me because they would find me from all over the world. Their soul would go call her. And,
Yeah.
and people would go, I don't know why I'm calling you. I I don't know why I'm working with you.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for 20 years, more than 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy I got to see you do your first PowerPoint. And honest.
Yeah, well, it's like, uh-oh, cat's out of the bag now.
You're out of the closet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm supposed to help more people. I really want to help more people connect to their divinity, because that's the truth of who we are.
Yes.
Thank you, Catherine. Those were good questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
See you. All right, it's so good to see everybody that's here tonight. I really appreciate you coming. I appreciate all of our Awake and Ascending family listening in on Clubhouse. Thank you so much, Bridget, for always being here and connecting us together. Thank New Realities for the replays that they do for us, and Portal to Ascension, and to all you guys for showing up week after week after week. Thank you so much. I'm really appreciative to that. And so, since we have no more questions, Kathy, I want to turn it back over to you real quickly, just for a few final comments.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't know if you were making me full screen. Okay. I just want everyone to know that you have no idea how powerful you are and what a blessing you are. And I'm hoping that this gives you some insights into ways that you can become all that you're meant to be. Your power and your strength and your love is what's going to make a powerful, hopeful future as we go through this chaos of changing from the old to the new way of being. So thank you so much for everyone and this opportunity to be with you all. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, and thanks for coming out and chatting with us, and thanks to all of you guys for being here. As I said, week after week, I sincerely appreciate it. And so until we're together again next week, namaste and much love to everybody. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Big
Bye.
hug, everybody. Big hug.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.